I'm back. I was having trouble with my microphone, so I thought I was gonna have to send it back. But I had another mic port, so I decided to try to use that. Yeah, you don't see anything on the screen because I'm rolling a cigarette. So for those who are new here, my name is Chris. I'm doing these videos to document my tapering on my psych meds because I can't find a doctor who knows how to get off of them properly. And so I'm on 4 different psych meds. One of which I've been on for probably 20 years, and it wasn't even prescribed. It was prescribed for fibro pain by a pain management doctor. Um, so yeah, I'm on 4 psych meds. I take 20 milligrams of nortriptyline at night, 0.25 milligrams of Klonopin twice a day. Gabapentin, though it is for nerve pain, I was prescribed it for depression. My SSRI, 10 milligrams in the morning. Let's see, the nortriptyline, I've gone from 50 milligrams. Actually, that's not true. I've gone from 75 milligrams down to 20. I've gone from 1 milligram of Klonopin to zero point 0.5, which I break up into 0.2 twice a day. I was prescribed that for insomnia. Uh, let's see. Gabapentin, depression, SSRI. I've been on so many different kinds. I think I've been on almost every kind of SSRI. Um, Diagnosed with anxiety, depression, bipolar type 2. And the only reason I'm doing the videos this way is because I tried doing recordings of myself. Can't even watch. I have severe RBF, so I always look like I'm about to burst into tears or I'm pissed off. So I decided, now that I've gotten rid of my depression and anxiety, oh, excuse me, to go back to my crafting. I have reclaimed my craft room. Let me see if I can get this to wibble. There it goes. I reclaimed my craft room. There's my boy. He's 13. He's really winding down. He sleeps a lot. Has trouble getting up and down all the chairs. Not bad yet, but so yeah, this is my craft slash computer room. I have reclaimed it. I did fostering and rescue, and it had become my foster room. Uh, So anyway, I don't know how I did it, but I made too big of a cut in my nortriptyline at the beginning of the year. And it wasn't until, well, I actually made a 20 milligram cut in January, which I know better. I didn't even remember doing it. And normally with the nortriptyline, I've been in withdrawal from nortriptyline before, and after about 10 days, it would start to go away. So like in January of this year, 2025, I made a 20 milligram cut. And I seem to be doing just fine. And then in April, I got a prescription from a new manufacturer, which was Tiva. And I think that was mid-April. And I had also made another 5 milligram cut in while I was still taking the Tiva prescription. I kind of started to feel like, I told my son, I kind of feel like I'm in withdrawal. Um, so I realized it must have been the Tiva manufacturer. So I called my doctor, asked for a refill, not Tiva, preferably Dan, which I did get. Uh, and it took, I still kind of felt like I was in withdrawal. And so up until August, I was like scouring my prescriptions in the pharmacy. Uh, so last month, November, I started feeling like I was finally coming out of this protracted withdrawal. Akathisia was just ridiculous. The brain fog, I felt like I was being poisoned. I kind of started to come out of it, and they refilled my prescription, and I wound up with the Tiva again, and it started making me sick. Uh, so I started doing some research and discovered that nortriptyline also affects your serotonin levels. And I am on an SSRI. So I thought, well, maybe I'll start tapering my SSRI. And in the meantime, I had to call my doctor and tell her I can't take the Tiva. I need a different prescription because the Tiva had started throwing me back into severe protracted withdrawal. So, I called my doctor, um, and I found out that Tiva uses different binders, which is ignorant. Cat, my cat, I gotta go let my cat in. Anyway, I called my doctor, told her I got the TIVA again, and to write specifically in the prescription that I cannot take the TIVA, so I got doctor ready. And I did find out that the people that make Dan were eventually absorbed by TIVA. So the Dan was discontinued. I have doctor ready, and now I feel like I'm adjusting to another medication. When I started going back into protracted withdrawal, I decided I'm going to start tapering my SSRI. My 10 milligrams of Celexa. I got the liquid taper, or the liquid medication. My insurance actually covered it. 10 milligrams per 5 milliliters. I bought syringes off Amazon. I've been following Dr. Joseph, Joseph, from the Taper Clinic, and Dr. Horowitz. This is what I got, and I prefer the white tips because I can see the lines better. The black tips, it's too hard to see where I'm at because they're slightly mounded. They're not straight across. And with the easy dose, you just stick the syringe in there, tip it upside down, work down to what you need. I don't know if you can see that, but so anyway, I dropped down to 9.5. And I honestly was kind of starting to feel the akathisia had lightened up a little bit. I tried taking it down to 9.3 after 8 days, but felt horrible. So we're sticking with the 9.5 for a couple weeks. Hopefully this bout of akathisia will lighten up. The only time I feel halfway decent is if I'm doing something or up moving around. Being stuck down here for 5 to 7 hours a day, it was hard. And it's because my oldest son stays with me right now, and we didn't really have room for him, and it was emergency, so he's kind of taken over my living room. So I try to be quiet. So yeah, this all started in May, December 12th. Yeah, I've had to turn to the internet to find help. I've called all over trying to find a psychiatrist who can help me taper off these. And while they're all willing to see me, none of them know how to taper off. Not safely. I'm using the hyperbolic method recommended by Dr. Horowitz, and Dr. Joseph. Dr. Horowitz is part of the Outro Clinic, Outro. And Dr. Joseph Daring Witt, and they're both on YouTube, though their clinics have websites. Dr. Joseph is at the Taper Clinic, and Dr. Horowitz with Outro. Maudsley Prescribing is available free in PDF form. Dr. Joseph has actual videos on YouTube that shows how to do different tapers. Some people count beads out of their capsules. Some weigh and shave their pills. I'm lucky because two of my particular prescriptions are in liquid form. I imagine they probably all are. And I have a state-run insurance. So, they handle the psych meds. I don't understand why the state-run insurance handles the psych meds, but my regular insurance, my HMO, doesn't pay for the psych meds. I don't know, but yeah, once I came to realize that the whole chemical imbalance was fake. None of these meds have been tested before approval for any longer than 8 to 12 weeks. I got rid of the depression and the anxiety holistically. I have 2 mentors that I work with. I'm a smoker. Cigarettes. I use THC. And quite honestly, I'm aware that they both say don't smoke pot. But I'll tell you what. If it weren't for the pot, the akathisia would probably drive me crazy. So yeah. Y'all didn't see me do much crafting, but I figured I'd better put this out. Probably for anybody who's new. I'm 60. I've been on almost every psych med. Rode the roller coaster of psych meds since I was probably started in my early 20s. And it's funny because I've never had any problem coming off of these pills. I've gone into withdrawal. I can't even count how many times off of one or another at some point in time over the years. And never had a problem like this. So, especially with the nortriptyline, I have been without the nortriptyline on and off for over 30 years. After about 10 days of withdrawal. So when I cut that initial 20 milligrams in January, I wasn't having any problems. I wasn't having any problems until I started taking the Tiva. And even though I had gone back to my other prescriptions or other manufacturers, I'm still messed up. I made that 5 milligram cut, got a Tiva, and I've been messed up ever since then. So I'm just hanging here. I got cats I have to go feed. You can hear one of them at the door. He's been bugging me for about a half an hour now. Yeah, I don't know how coherent this video is going to be. I'm not very good at this. So yeah, just to check in.